So these are my top 5 reasons why you might want to get a scooter. First up is an alternate mode of transportation. And you might laugh about this, but an electric scooter is probably one of the best alternate modes just because of its flexibility. A bike is a bigger vehicle, so you got to find a place to store it. Sometimes parking is an issue. On a scooter, it never is. You literally can take it anywhere. I take it inside coffee shops, grocery stores. You know, they're small enough to where they're not really a hassle or a problem. But bigger vehicles, even bigger electric vehicles, generally are. And especially nowadays, I mean, with gas, you know, $5, $6, and even $7 a gallon some places, an electric scooter is starting to look like a pretty good idea. And I use mine on a regular basis, especially now that the weather's starting to warm up. It is an absolute godsend to have something like this out. You can just hop on it, you know, bolt downtown when you need to, run some quick errands or long errands, and it is a fraction of the cost for an automobile, you know, by the time you factor in all the usage and what it takes and costs to run it on a daily basis. Now, the advantage is obviously with the car, you can fill it up with gas when you need to a little more often, but at that price, I'll work around the charging schedule. You know, all the times I've been by here, I've never noticed this huge clock tower. And that really brings me to another reason to own a scooter. Be a tourist in your own town. Literally, be a tourist in your own town. One thing about owning an electric scooter versus owning a car, or even if it's not either or, you know, if you own both. One thing about having a scooter is you can go places you simply can't go in a car. And you will go places you simply won't go in a car. I've done this so many times. I've been buzzing by something 75 miles an hour in my car, and I'm like, oh, that looks really interesting. I'll have to come back and check that out, and I never do. Just because, you know, you're going highway speeds, or you're on the freeway or whatever, and you never really come back and do that. But on a scooter, you absolutely do. Something looks interesting, hop off the road and check it out. And that's the part that's harder to do in a car, because scooters aren't bound to the road. You can go anywhere you want, anytime you want. And there's just a lot of, not just efficiency, but there's a lot of joy in that. There really is a huge amount of satisfaction to be able to go, let's go up this road and see what's up here. Let's go check out, you know, this little overpass. Let's see what's going on over here. Let's go check out what's going on over here. Look, there's people surfing over there. Let's go find out what that's about. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And the simple truth is you simply won't do that on a car. Another big consideration is running errands. So whether you're just going, you know, to the post office, or you're running, you know, grocery errands or grabbing coffee or whatever you got to do around town, it's pretty hard to beat on a scooter in terms of just overall convenience. Especially as the weather starts warming up, man, it really is a beautiful way to get out instead of being stuck in a car all day. Much nicer in that regard. Especially if you do a lot of commuting. If you're spending a ton of time stuck in your car on the way to work or coming back, and all your time feels like you're just stuck in this little 4-door coffin, a scooter is a lot more fun way to get to and come home from work. Plus it gets you outside, it gets you invested in, you know, where you live, you get a little bit of fresh air. It's a lot more fun if you got to spend a lot of miles commuting. And being able to take alternate routes, not having to always go the direction of traffic, being able to cut through parking lots. you know, back roads, back alleys. I mean, there's just so many things about it that's so much faster and easier, really, than having to navigate a car, especially in a, you know, in an urban area, crowded town, anything like that, especially if you live like we do in a really popular town. It is a godsend when you want to putt around and just check stuff out. We're finally getting some decent weather up here in the Northwest, and it has just made riding so much nicer. And really, for the first time in months, it's been nice enough to get out and really explore the town that you live in. And that's really got to be, I think, one of the biggest reasons for owning an electric scooter, is the ability to get out in the town you live in and check out what's there. You'll find more stuff and do more exploration on a scooter than you ever will in a car. I've lived in this town for a long time, and there are so many things I've seen on an electric scooter that I would never see, you know, any other way in a car. I don't have to park this thing. I don't have to worry about where it goes. I don't have to make concessions for it or any of that stuff. It's all here, and it's so much easier to do on an electric scooter because they're so incredibly portable. They're quiet. You can take them anywhere. You can bring them in anywhere. Coffee shops, grocery stores. So exploration, without a doubt, is one of the main reasons for owning an electric scooter. There's just pretty hard to find a better way to explore the town you live in. For example, let's just go bombing down through here. Let's see what's down through here. One thing you gotta love about this C-style suspension, man, it just goes bombing through the grass and weeds and stuff like this. Pretty smooth. If you're looking at a modern day electric scooter, even moderately priced ones, then you got to admit speed is a big consideration. And even moderately priced scooters go fast. They're fast as hell. I mean, some of these scooters, especially when you get into the hyper scooter category, these things go 40, 50, 60, even 70 miles an hour. And that is just madness on 10-inch wheels. That's basically just a skateboard with a handle on it. But without a doubt, there are very few things on earth as exhilarating and as much fun as just flat out carving on a scooter on a beautiful day, just enjoying the ride. Yeah. Perfect day. So no matter the reason, doesn't matter why you're looking into one, I promise you, you are gonna love it. It doesn't matter whether you're looking at it for basic transportation, if you're looking at it to, you know, reduce your driving costs, or whatever the reason, I promise you, an electric scooter is probably about the most fun you can have. And it doesn't matter really even the category. You know, if you're just looking for a commuter scooter, I promise you it's the most fun way to get to work you're gonna have. And if you're looking for just the sheer exhilaration of a hyper scooter, there are very few things that will get your heart pumping like that. Hey, either way, guys, if you enjoyed this video or if this was helpful in any way, please hit the subscription and notification bells. It helps keep a young channel like this going, and it helps me grow and help me make more videos like this for you guys. Get out there now that the weather is starting to get nice. Rip it up, stay safe, have a great time. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.